Dude, eggnog season is dangerous for my waistline. Hello, everyone, and welcome to not Plat.
Wow,
can I start
platinum.
again? I was just. I watched Plat Chat Valor recently. I fucking suck. All right. It's the second. What? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Patch Notes, Season 3, Episode 7. We are coming at you straight from December 17th with Wolf Clock, Vindi, and Spinozone. About ready to talk about some amazing gameplay, especially something we've been or everyone's been calling, because it's the name of the thing, Path of Exile 2.
Path of Exile. Some people call it that.
Some people call it that. Other people just call it the game, you know?
Oh, God, it seems like that game right now.
Yeah. You know, in like the first 1,000 years of like the church, people would call Aristotle just the philosopher. You ever read Aquinas? He just wrote about the philosopher, and he always meant Aristotle. That's like, when we talk about the game, we just mean Path of Exile 2 right now. At least we do.
Oh, I thought you meant Astro Boy.
Astro Boy?
Or
That's
Astrobot.
the anime. The anime is Astro Boy.
No, Astrobot won Game of the Year over.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, maybe
That's
it
the
just
game.
don't run in the cool circles.
No, that's not cool.
In any case, what have we... But I mean, besides Path of Exile 2, what have we been playing?
I don't know. You're first on the list.
I'm just first on the list because I'm first in my mind.
Tell us.
So I have downloaded... I don't know if I told you guys this on camera, but I'm pretty sure I told you beside or one of my friends. So I used to play this game called Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action. Not like regularly, but I played it. And I
talked about it once before.
Yeah. And I realized recently when I went to play it again.
Right away with that
Yeah,
one.
I know.
Snooze.
Okay, it's not a main segment. I'm just talking about what I'm playing. All right. I thought I wanted. Well, I did want to play it again.
ladies and gentlemen.
I recently went to play it again because I'm like, it should be in my Steam library, and I couldn't find it in my Steam library. But I know I played this game, and I just went hard dive. I went through all of my old email addresses, searching for Steam and payment receipts, and I was sure I paid it. It ends up that, I mean, maybe I still got rug pulled, maybe. But more likely, the one friend I had on a different podcast in 2021 who played this with me, I just logged in on his Steam. So I'm pretty sure we were each buying each other. Yeah. So
I hope Steam never watches this and figures out what your account name is.
But I did the point. I bought it again.
I
bought it. You know,
they don't care about that stuff anymore.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad to hear that, but also because I was able to play on his account later in life, like now, I was able to buy it again. So maybe it's a good practice to share every once in a while, so you eventually give them revenue. In any case,
good.
I'm now on day 6 of Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action. You get to mix drinks for various cyberpunk
just like
AI
real
people.
life.
Yeah, just like real life. It's a little weird that this is my lead. I played that game before I started bartending. And
Just new.
yeah, and it
I
doesn't
go to
feel
the
like,
gym. I work out. I go home. I work out. That's basically you right now.
yeah, I mean, I do.
I'm just working out the bartending
Hey,
skill.
most people that play certain things in video games, they never get the chance to experience. So the fact
That's a
that
great
you're
point.
living your digital fantasies right now.
It's true.
is
Actually,
huge.
one thing that I think of differently now is that when people in the video game ask me what to get, I immediately sell them the most expensive drink in the in-game catalog. I've played it before, so I know there's no you don't get a high score for getting the most money. But
sure.
if somebody asks for an open-ended thing, I could sell them an $80 gut punch, or I could sell them a $320 Piano Man, and I always make the Piano Man. And I never complain, as long as it fits the description.
The theme.
Yeah, so I've learned to upsell. I didn't do that before.
Very good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
do you guys not know about Steam's family
No.
function now?
No, none of my family plays with me.
Oh, shoot. So what Steam did recently, probably, I want to say it was 2 months ago. They changed the way that they do the family sharing. So previously, you had to physically sign into your account on somebody else's machine, and then you had to determine what accounts that are currently on that PC are accessible to your library because they're your family. And then Steam would know if one of you were playing that game, so
Right,
the
it
other
would just
person
share out,
couldn't.
share out licenses, essentially.
Well, they've upgraded that severely. Not only do you not have to do anything else with the other person's PC, you can just invite them from your friends list to be part of your family.
Really cool.
It doesn't matter how many people in your family are playing that license.
Oh my god!
So you can
4
buy
people
one
can play
game.
Cyberpunk at the same time?
6 people can.
Wow.
Your
Now I'm
family can be
assuming
up to
they
6
must
people.
all be on the same subnet mask, like IP address.
Nope.
That's really cool.
100%. My brother, my sister, Ambrose, and Jenny's account are all in a family.
So how does that work then? Because are they all on sharing off of just your account?
You share games with each other. So I have access to my brother's games. He has access to
That's
all
sick.
mine. Me, my brother, and Ambrose can all
That just
play the
seems
same
really-
game at the same time.
It seems like that actually hurts Steam.
Oh yeah, sure. They don't care. It's insane.
Did they see
It
that?
sounds
Literally
really
insane.
bad. It sounds
You-
like that's not a good idea.
You, Carissa, and David could all join a family, and you guys would have access to all your own games.
So
That just seems really bad.
well, so put it like this, maybe United Healthcare had they offered certain pro, I'll
This was
put it
before
yeah,
anything
was
like
it?
that happened.
Okay.
That's
well,
really
maybe they had the
interesting.
forethought that United, maybe Valve
But
CEO
isn't
would
that
be in a
insane?
different
Yeah,
place now.
It is insane. You can have
Yeah.
up to 6 people.
That's really
They don't
cool.
do any checks.
I think that's such a terrible.
I
Does
mean,
it-
it's a
what is it-
terrible business.
What is
strategy.
it? What does it say specifically?
Makes us love them more.
That's the thing. Is it
I
makes
just
me
can't
love
believe that it's not all pinging off the same router. Like
it. No.
that's
Maybe they'll do it
crazy.
for a little bit and then open up the opportunity
Well,
for.
it used to be like where you could only play one license at a time, and it would know.
I'm fine.
Now
with,
you
I'm
can
fine
play,
with like
anybody can play.
because trust me,
as
okay,
long as the
so
family has the license somewhere.
now that consoles have SSDs,
Yeah.
which I was going to get to that in my thing. So I have a PS5 at the house right now,
Yeah.
and holy
console
crap,
gaming.
it's insane. I don't know how people were playing on it before that because I also have a PS4 in the house, which I got for free from my dad. And just trying to even load things on it, I'm like, nope, can't do this.
Right.
Cannot do
It's
this.
so vastly different.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
PS5 will load faster than any PC, really, unless you've got like state of the art direct storage.
Just
because
because it's optimized in all the ways.
It is. It is.
anyways, but the thing I'm worried about is I want to get a PS5 Pro and I want a PS5. So I want 2 consoles in the house. And so I'm thinking about okay, well, how if I want to buy like Gran Turismo, maybe the PS5 is in like the bedroom and the PS5 Pro is hooked up to my monitor.
Yep.
Okay, so it's like I don't know how Sony plays.
They
with
play. One of your consoles is considered
Your home
your
console?
home console, just like Xbox does.
Okay.
And so anybody, any account on that system can play any of your licenses.
Okay.
If you decide to play any of your licenses on a console that isn't your home
home.
console, you need to be connected to the internet.
Okay. So basically, it'll pull the license from my Pro.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so if my wife makes an account on the PS5, and then
She'll
keep
have access to your entire library. She can play your games,
Okay.
and then you can also play your games online from any other console.
Okay. Cool.
Until
Right.
she starts beating you, in which case you will not let her play anymore.
So, and I'm assuming that's all under the same internet connection, right? Like you
Anywhere.
couldn't. Oh, okay. But it's only one license at a time, which makes sense.
No.
Wait, so she could be playing Gran Turismo on her PS5, and I could play it on the Pro, and I only own one copy of the game?
Yep.
Ah, okay. Now I see what you're saying.
But
okay.
if she doesn't have the license, she has to play it on your home console to use your license.
But
So
how-
you'll designate which console is your home console.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Oh, okay. Yeah. If I'm I guess that's when. All right, I'm playing Gran Turismo on my Pro. I bought it
Yep.
on my account.
Yep.
She turns on her PS5.
Yep.
What happens if she wants to play it at the same time?
Is your Pro console considered your home console?
Yes,
She
yes.
can't play it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right. But if I stop playing it, then she can play it?
Nope. She has to play it on your home console.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So PlayStation has no way for me to share a license inside of the same house?
Nope. Only on the same console.
Oh, well, that's useless to me.
Unless, because you're always going to be connected to the internet, you make the regular PS5 your home console. And then you'll still be able to use all your licenses on the Pro because it won't be considered your home.
Oh, okay. I had it backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get you.
All the licenses you want to share with Carissa, you would make sure that she's using your home console. So you have to
I would think it would be backwards. I thought the home is the one dishing out the licenses.
Well, it is, but only
But it
to
can't
people
be
that are
played
playing
on.
on that console.
Got you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then
Good
she
to know.
can make your Pro her home console, and then any games she buys,
Yeah.
you could play on your Pro then.
Yeah. Okay, I feel you. All right, cool.
Yeah. Steam, on the other hand, just makes it super easy. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Which is
okay.
mind-boggling.
I want to buy a Valve T-shirt.
My video game library, because my sister and my brother got added. Granted, Ambrose and Jenny, they don't have any license. They maybe had a
Jenny's not a
handful.
big gamer.
No, not too much. But my library went from I think 200 games to 1,400 games
Wow.
because my brother is an
Oh my
absolute
God.
addict.
Is that Trapper?
Yeah. So
So anyways, I'm playing other games. I
Yeah.
have started. I bought every single Uncharted. So I have all 5
did you see the Naughty Dog's new announcement?
of.
Intergalactic.
No.
Yep.
You should see it. It'll get you excited.
I'm excited. It reminds me a little bit of Destiny. Not gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
Nothing magic, but it's space.
Yeah.
And just the aesthetic of
And
it.
isn't the magic of space magic?
Oh, check it out after the
Yeah.
podcast.
It looks cool.
But yeah, so playing Uncharted, the first one, which came out in 2006. Dang. On a PS5 on an OLED is pretty cool because
It's a remastered version, though, right?
and it's the remastered.
Yeah,
right. Because you can buy the first trilogy as remastered, and then the second trilogy is also remastered or has the upgraded patches to it.
Yeah.
But Uncharted looks great for 2006. Some of that handling is a little clunky,
Sure.
but looks great. Honestly, I think it does. I would probably like to see it at 4K instead of 1440p. It does not have any VRR to it, which kind of stinks. The 2 newer ones do, and man, yeah, I still every time I'm on a controller at 120 hertz, it's still pretty surreal. Yeah.
Nice.
Although I do just find myself wanting to play at 4K 60 on a controller. I don't. I'm such a frame rate snob.
Yeah.
But when I have a controller in my hand, it just feels useless sometimes. It's like, why do I even care? I'm just playing a
Right.
story game.
Well, and especially for a cinematic game
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
closer, movies are traditionally in 24.
Right.
So
yeah.
it's if you're looking
But see,
for
I
that kind of
can't play them at
experience-
30. 30 actually hurts. It gives me a headache to watch the stuttering.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Especially on OLED. The
Yeah.
frame time is so perfect that it literally, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm stuttering.
Nintendo games probably give you.
Yeah, I just don't play Nintendo games. Yeah. But every one of these runs at 60 FPS minimum.
Oh, yeah.
because
Absolutely.
The PS5.
It's the PS5.
Yeah. And now with the PS5 Pro, the older 3 are getting that PSSR.
Yes.
Which is
Wow.
why I want to buy. Every game gets PSSR, bro. That's why the PS5 Pro is worth it.
Yeah.
Every single game.
Right.
It's not a game set. It's a system setting.
That's why I feel like
a
Grand
console
Theft
setting.
Auto is going to run a lot smoother on the PS5 Pro.
That is a GPU issue. Not.
But it doesn't have to.
Super sampling doesn't improve frame rates.
It
cleans
does
up the
if you
image.
don't have to process a higher resolution.
Listen,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you right now.
We can play it in 4K without the engine having to be rendered in 4K.
We should make a bet.
Actually, consoles do not allow that.
What?
Yep. I couldn't believe it either.
That makes no sense.
Consoles have their internal resolutions locked at the highest resolution offered. every single time. I could not believe it. My mind was blown.
You don't think the Pro is going to adjust that?
It will not. You cannot tell it. You cannot get a PS5 or a PS5 Pro to internally do 1080p. Can't do it.
But all I'm saying, the engine could still be with the super sampling, though.
The super sampling, yes, they'll do some of that.
Yeah.
But internally, and you can check this if you have certain TVs and stuff, they always render at the highest resolution.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So like on my 1440p monitor, it's still rendering at 4K.
That's the render, though, that will be received by the TV. What I'm saying is the engine itself doesn't have to be rendered in that high detail graphics, and then it lets the super sampling take it from there, and then delivers that.
But that's
resolution.
not. But what I'm trying to say, especially for Grand Theft Auto, the graphics are not the holdback. The graphics are not the problem.
The graphics are going to.
The graphics are going to be amazing
on a PS5, though.
The graphics are amazing, but the graphics are not what's going to hold it back from achieving high frame rates. It's going to be CPU issues. The PS5 has a weak CPU, so does the Xbox.
Yeah.
They both have very powerful GPUs.
Right.
But their CPUs are weak.
Their engines
they're mismatched.
or their SDKs are optimized for those CPUs.
And apparently we're getting the PS6 in like 3 years.
Really? Who's saying that?
Digital Foundry.
Really?
I mean,
it's got to be rumor based.
It lines up with the Intel. Well, no, it lines up with Intel almost getting the bid to start, and then Intel blew it up because they didn't like the margins, which is so stupid. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
Intel was going to produce the PS6 chip, which would have been insane, and Sony was like, it has to be backwards compatible with all the AMDs,
of course.
And I forget the other thing. And Intel's like, yeah, we can make it backwards compatible, but we want more money. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, Intel, you're on fire. Just take the deal.
Right.
So it was like a huge.
I mean, think of how many units get sold. You know what I mean?
I know, it's stupid.
That just seemed like free money.
Yep. I don't get it.
Maybe they needed the extra money for the R&D of making it.
I don't think so at all. I just think that Intel was trying to it's two ways. Intel was being greedy, or Sony was being greedy. Sony's be like, well, we have the most, it's like
Sony has
do this for free.
Greedy, though.
Do this for free, Intel.
Wow.
Or break even on it. And Intel was like, dude, can we at least make $1? And maybe Sony's like, nope. All right, we'll just go back to AMD. Right. Maybe they're playing hardball. Who knows?
Yeah,
we weren't in the room.
It could have just been the way one of them looked at each other wrong, honestly.
And that's true. Also, I played
like Overwatch in China. Yeah, with the NetEase thing. They didn't like the cut of their jib, and then Overwatch got canned in China, and then everything fell apart.
Well,
I also played 2 more hours of Space Marine 2.
I have heard this. What?
Yep. I played 2 more hours of Space Marine 2.
Yeah, what the hell?
Sorry.
I thought that was our game. You literally last time said you weren't gonna. Yeah, because you were gonna tell us when.
Hey, you are watching it live. This betrayal. Wow.
And I was gonna make the Aaron Gaskin's best boss joke later.
It's literally a 3-player game. And this guy starts the campaign with us.
Listen, I've been sick. I was like, you know what? I need to stop playing League.
You don't think I've been sick?
I'm going to try to play.
Why didn't you just
attitude?
Why didn't you just pick up Path of Exile? You see us all playing.
I don't play that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
if you want to play something other than League,
I plugged in a controller.
Guess what? Path of Exile works on a controller.
I bet it does. I plugged in a PS5 controller and a Space Marine and enjoyed it way more.
Yeah.
Because holy crap, that game was definitely better.
Well, you know another way to enjoy it way more? With friends.
Dude, any third
shame.
For shame.
For shame.
You should feel shame, honestly. But any third-person shooter, 50 to 200 times better on a controller.
For sure.
Every time.
For sure.
Every time.
And then also
Marvel Rivals, I bet
it's
5 times better on the controller.
My first Gran Turismo is free on PlayStation.
Cool.
You know what? I wish it cost money for you. That's what.
It's a very limited experience.
Yeah. It's just like the trial or something.
It has some trials and some licenses that you can get.
Gotcha.
But damn, that game looks good. I mean, first party.
Right.
It's a Halo game. It's their Halo game. I wasn't even meaning it. Gran Turismo. That's like that's a Halo product.
I would say that.
I don't mean Halo as in it's as important as Halo is to the Xbox. I mean Halo as in it's like they give it its time and due. I mean it is
like Sony did for Concord. how it was going to be the next Star Wars franchise. Yeah.
Aren't you excited for the secret level release of Concord?
Oh, did you guys? X Defiant is getting shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
We
kinda
texted
sad.
the group chat, and then you were like, "Yeah, well, we all stopped playing it." I'm like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah.
Right.
It was sad. Like I really enjoyed it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was
it was
like,
good.
They're refunding
then
you your
sniping.
battle pass, right? That's
I
what
don't-
they said. They're refunding
I can't
all the
yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Do I have to
maybe,
like
don't
click
know.
yes?
You probably have to go into Ubisoft Connect.
I already. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll let them recoup
Pretty sure
my
it actually
$20.
costs them $10 for me to open up that piece of shit.
Yeah, I bought the hot girl. That's the. I'm still happy with that. Do you remember
I
like?
had a good time with
There's
it.
there's like the class who's got like the little spider that runs up and pops in your face. Like it's the one you have to unlock right away.
Oh, the Tom Clancy units?
I think so.
There was like a
Yeah, Echo?
girl with a short
Dex
skirt.
I thought
She
it
was
was
a little
Dex,
bit
wasn't it?
emo.
Yeah, I don't know.
She was worth it. I'm still happy about it.
That honestly was a lot of fun when we were all playing.
Yeah, it was good.
I had a lot of
You know what else is a lot of fun when we all play together? Space Marine 2.
Bro,
That was so
that was
much
a
fun
great
together.
time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, there's this time I logged in to catch up because I didn't like complete the campaign like you know,
right,
and it
right.
just
Those
wasn't
first
the same
missions,
without
yeah.
friends, right?
that's true.
And I think about sometimes like what would it be to be the kind of person who thought it is the same without friends? And I just don't like the person I see in the mirror, you know? Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So,
yeah. Oops.
Yeah, and then Gran Turismo was amazing. The sounds, wow. I don't think I've
Are
ever.
you gonna get a wheel now that you're like kind of hooked?
We'll see. I mean, I
The Logitech G923 is actually.
I
not
have
too
been
bad.
thinking about just taking a break from PC gaming and just selling my rig
Really?
and just
selling it.
well, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wait, is
Selling
this
my
a cry
rig,
for
dude,
help?
You
Are you
are
finally
so
like
ridiculous
ODing on League
sometimes.
of
You are
Legends?
so ridiculous.
What do you mean?
sometimes.
You just seem like you have
I
only.
sell my computer every 18 months. I've actually broken my rule by having this one that long.
Really?
Yeah, I've had this
But
thing
you're just
for
building a
almost
new
3
one,
years.
that 3090
Yeah.
into 5080 build.
No, I have a 3080 Ti.
Okay.
Yeah, which is still a great card.
Yeah.
But like, I think I want to be off of it, and I want to be able to hit that glorious pause button. Holy crap! You know how freeing that? Oh wow! I can just boop, get up,
Yeah.
go do something.
Right.
I mean, I'm a grown man.
You can do that. You can do that
But, like,
on
it's so
PC,
nice.
but you'd have to uninstall League of Legends.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's kind of
Wait,
what I'm
yeah,
trying to say.
yeah. Wait. What if before you sell your
think-
rig, you just try uninstalling League of Legends and you see if that was the issue all along, right?
Well,
why go all the? You know, like there's some
okay,
some phrase
let me
about
pause.
a baby
Well,
in
see,
bathwater,
let
right?
me
Like,
pause.
what if
Can I
you
pause?
just?
If the pipe is there,
I don't know. Can we
right?
play Space Marine 2 with you?
You can if you get a PlayStation. All right, this is what I'm thinking.
If the pipe is there, it's gonna be filled. I think.
Yeah.
He's
that's
gonna
where
fill
it's
that
gonna be.
pipe. Yeah.
Let me
yeah.
hear me out. I could sell my rig, get the full Logitech Pro setup,
Yeah.
which Chris
Yes.
would actually be like. She'd be like, "Yeah,
You're
let's-
talking about the Pro version.
yeah. I'm talking like the
Does the
$1,500.
Pro work on the PlayStation?
Yeah, it was made for it. It was made for it.
Would you play TFT on mobile after you sell your rig?
I would just use Carissa's computer.
So you would never play with her?
Nothing will
Yeah,
make me
you'd never
play
be able to
on
play with.
phone.
That's so
TFT.
sad.
I'll have like guys. I'll have like a little shitter system. Yeah.
Will she even want to be seen in the same party with you?
I
on your
don't
shitter
know.
system? Yeah, she'll be like.
Anyways,
"Dang, this
I'm
is
just
really
saying, like,
embarrassing."
What a terrible idea.
I've never
I
heard of
could
this
get.
Vindi
I could
guy.
get the full Pro wheel, Pro
He'll get
all
a
of that.
MacBook.
Dude, who is this man?
I could get a PS5
Yeah,
Pro.
MacBook.
I could get a PS5 Pro,
yeah.
and I could get a 4K OLED if I sell my rig and my 1440p OLED and then refit.
Dude, what's the point of a console if you have to sell your soul, right?
True.
And that's what I'm hearing.
Because it would be a good trial run for a year. And then next year, after all the 5th gens, 50 series have all released and prices stabilized,
Yeah.
I can build a monster on 16th gen Intel
Right.
with a 5080 or a 5090
Yeah.
at MSRP.
Right. I mean,
Who's the psychopath?
you do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
Do what
I
you
just
gotta
saved.
do.
I saved the whole
I
year.
support you in
I
your
saved the
journey.
whole year.
What's that poem about? Like like God, they're like they're the footprints
I would
in
have
the
to save
sand.
$500 a month.
You know the
Every
footprints,
month.
Paul?
I mean, some people just got to quit cold turkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
that's
stop
true.
buying it,
That's true.
and then you just can't use it.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
I guess I don't want you to overdose.
There's
and as a
another
good
issue
friend, I
with
should
like
want you to
I'm
not.
on the depreciation curve on my system.
You should just start picking up
Where?
Marvel Rivals, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm on the depreciation
PoE
curve.
too.
Or PoE too.
Yeah.
It's a very scary depreciation curve.
For your PC.
Yeah. Because it's like I need to get out of it in the next like 3 months, or I'm stuck with it for a while. Because then
And
it's
you're
just not
talking
worth
about
selling.
specifically your CPU.
Just my whole platform.
Wait.
Yeah,
Is it
CPU
okay?
and GPU.
What if you sell it, but like
I don't
we
feel
get the
like
right
the
to say we
3080
told you
Ti is
so
gonna
if
drop
you
off
buy
too
another?
much, is
3080
it?
Ti. Yeah, that was a $1,200 card that's now being by a $500 card.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess I don't play with
What
you all that
$500
often. anyway.
card beats that?
4070.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yup.
Crazy.
Same amount of VRAM, faster at everything, less power usage. World must go on. NVIDIA is kind of good at what they do, as much as we all hate them for their prices.
Well, I don't disagree with you
Anyway, I don't know.
selling your machine, but I don't agree with you not having a good PC.
Yeah.
Well, then
It
I
just
just
seems
wouldn't,
so
I wouldn't
against
touch
your-
anything. I just wouldn't touch anything. I would just leave it as is. I don't know. I'm probably not going to do any of that. I am kind of talking out loud. I do want a PS5 Pro
Right.
because I do, but then it's like
But you already have a nice OLED monitor that
Yeah.
would work perfect
I
for
know
the PS5
I would.
Pro.
It would.
Yeah.
It would.
You don't have
But-
to sacrifice your PC for that.
Yeah, it's true. All right, moving on.
I just don't recognize the
You
man
know
in
who
front
else
of me.
is getting an OLED monitor this year?
Is his name
Quinn?
Wolfclock?
Wolfclock.
Hey!
Quinn. We just bought Quinn's 480 hertz.
Yeah, but he
OLED.
was setting up
Yeah,
to say
no one
Wolfclock.
cares.
Yeah. The people
What
don't
do
know
you-
Quinn.
What are you buying?
It's
Well,
already wrapped under the tree.
You're buying it through
Hey.
us, huh? Wait, you already bought it?
Yeah.
Oh, you bought the AQDM. Yeah. So did Sean, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. Sean's actually having a weird issue with his.
Oh no.
Yeah. But the other 4 people that have that monitor that I told them to get aren't having the same issue.
80% success rate.
Yeah.
And he's on AMD. I blame AMD somehow,
too.
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes only
His
sense.
black screens for 1 second every 10 to 15 minutes.
Interesting.
What?
Yep.
That sounds like a bandwidth issue.
That's what I said, but he bought a brand new cable.
I would get a new cable just in case.
He bought a brand new one just for it.
Oh, and it's still doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, then maybe it's
But-
his card.
See, I was kind of thinking it was his card too. He's found some other people who have the same exact issue as him. But on completely different hardware setups. So I don't know.
Could be a firmware update then that's
He's
needed.
fully updated the firmware.
Gosh, maybe revert the firmware.
No, it could just be it's a bad panel.
It could be.
I doubt it, but it could be. But the only thing I told him to try was to find his master cylinder. I don't know if you guys know this, but not all of those ports are equal. There is a first among equals.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Just
You
like
gotta-
the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Yeah. You got to find what display port is the master display port.
Interesting. And it's different like per.
You won't know unless you look it up. You have to look it up. Sometimes NVIDIA, like the actual like NVIDIA's control panel, will tell you. Most of the time, it will not. You just have to look up your
I
specific
mean, he
card.
just got out. I would just return it just to make sure.
Well, he might have already fixed it.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he said it's just amazing. Like, yeah, I haven't actually seen that particular monitor in use yet, but it's glossy. I know it's glossy.
It is supposed
I'm
to be.
super excited to see that. 'cause
And it's
mine's
an
not.
O or it's a W.
It's a W. Yeah. QD is. QD
I can't
is
wait to
all-
open it, dude.
Yeah.
It's sitting under the tree. It's so painful right now.
Is it really obvious what shape it is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do the kids know? is it-
Some of them know.
Okay.
Those that talk to mom about that stuff, but
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
That will be sweet.
Yeah, Quinn just ordered the monster of all monster systems. So it came out to around $6,000.
That is a monster.
that's a huge monster.
Yeah, that's with monitors, but still.
Still.
Yeah, and imagine if he just up and sells it for a console gamer lifestyle. Like, how would you feel? In any case,
All right, so
do we even want
TFT
to? I don't know. You're not even going to be playing in a month. So do we even talk about it?
No, this is game design.
Yeah,
I'm down.
you're right. Okay, so for the uninitiated, TFT amazing game in the League of Legends client.
Right.
Historically has always had 1 through 5 cost units. You've met Nico, right?
6 cost units.
I got Nico into TFT.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah, now he's saying his computer's been crashing, the computer that Justin made for him, which is like kind of funny because Justin made it instead of like going to... Anyway, the only one it doesn't crash with is TFT, so now he's just like only playing TFT, which is like
who's
a fun... a guy who lives at the hotel. I don't know
Wait,
if
did he buy Justin's system?
No, Justin just told him he'd build a system for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Justin's very... you remember Justin from last episode. If you don't remember Justin from last episode, you didn't watch last episode. You got to go back. Yeah. It was a pretty good one. Ended on a really impressive note. But in any case, so yeah, TFT, you're used to getting 1 through 5 cost units. 5 costs are always historically the best units. But this set, they have released in keeping with the canon of Arcane. Over the course of Arcane, certain units become like really amazing. In Arcane, they're not units, they're characters. But in TFT, they have released 3 6-cost units. Those units are Mel, who is not strong at the beginning of Arcane, but develops powers over the course of it. Warwick, who starts as Vander in Arcane, but then becomes Warwick.
Whoa, dude, spoilers!
No, spoilers. I should have said spoiler warning.
No,
but
if they haven't seen it yet, they're never going to watch it.
Yeah. You fools. And lastly, Victor in the new form, and he's going to be like retrofitted, right? Like his character in League of Legends is going to get the new model, whereas like face is split.
That's another side thing. Nobody likes this.
Like the fact that his human face is like split.
The in-game model is trash.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Super trash.
Yeah.
And the best skin that he had, in most people's opinion, is now the worst skin he has.
Really?
It's so bad.
That's really sad.
Huge pushback.
Yeah.
Like 30,000 upvotes on the sub.
Which is interesting because there's also huge pushback in his position in TFT. Right now, Warwick, viable character who's not game breaking. Mel, viable character who's not game breaking. Victor,
best unit in the game.
Best unit in the game by far, stuns the entire board.
Yep.
And does an incredible amount of damage.
Just played him for the first time yesterday, instantly won.
Yeah.
I just hit it. Like random chance.
Yeah.
It's like, game's over.
I had a
that's all it is random chance. It's like less than 1% or something. So
the first percent. Well, this is another thing.
Yeah,
the first percent of getting it is like 0.2%, right? So every shop you get, there is a 0.2% chance of a 6 cost showing up. Then chances increase as time goes on, and once you're level 10, there's an even larger increased chance.
Yeah.
But because it is such a
actually, I don't know if you know this. It's not based on your level.
It says in the description. It just lied to me.
No, it's based on the stage.
I know stage increases, but it says like cost increases at level 10 or like chance increases at level 10.
Maybe it has a specific.
I think it has an extra boost.
Maybe an extra boost at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That I didn't read. I just know Mort said specifically like you can't fast 9 and then increase your chances.
And
That's cool,
it does.
I did think that was pretty novel.
That was cool, and it does only come in after anomaly, so you can't anomaly the 6 cost unit.
Yes.
Anomaly is like a special.
The anomaly
boost.
event is like kind of what determines those. They get those powers in the first.
Yeah. Like if you don't have your carry
they're
before
basically
anomaly,
anomalied already
Right.
because they're so
they're so.
overpowered.
Although like Warwick, you can still win a board. You can still win against a Mel. You can still win against. But like a Victor is crazy. The first game I had with Victor, I was playing a Cogmaw reroll, and I was still really healthy economically, and I had a fully itemized Cogmaw with a really good anomaly benefit, and I got the Victor, and Victor had not no items, but like one subpar item, and he was always like at least 2/3 of Cogmaw's damage, and I just kept thinking like, I should have just thrown everything on the Victor because it's that much better. But I didn't. I felt dirty inside doing that. Like,
So his stun damages too. Then
all of it just does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But here are like two issues.
Now, though, right?
One of them is a really obvious issue. The second one is way more hidden, actually. And I was actually talking to Riley about this.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the first one is the Macau Open just happened. So that's like a very big TFT tournament. Mm-hmm. And the guy who won eked out because he found a Victor.
Yeah.
And he had just enough points to win. Okay. And this other guy's board, which was this crazy board that he pulled out of his ass, he was going to win, but the guy found a Victor.
Yeah.
Insane.
Okay. And so what kind of sucks is you see, okay, how good did that feel as a spectator watching the guy who was like, "Oh my gosh!" Okay, it's
Yeah.
It's
Pulls
like
it out of his ass, which is supposed to be skill expression, like the thing everybody wants.
He did some crazy stuff, and he made this crazy board. Okay, so in some sense, you could say that was also like a crazy chance that he was able to make it work, right? There was just more work into making it work. Okay, fair enough. These 6-cost units are the equivalent of a 2-star 4-cost unit. Okay, I actually think it's kind of okay.
That's not too powerful.
I heard it was
No, it's
2-star
not.
5-cost.
No, it's 2-star 4
Okay,
cost,
okay.
and I know that for a fact.
All right. Gesundheit.
The reason what makes it so strong is typically when you're finding them, you roll down and hit your other 2-star 4-cost units.
Right, because that's what you're looking for.
Right, but so if you find one and you just hit 2 other 4-cost 2-starred, and then someone else didn't, all of a sudden you're a 1-2-cost 4-star versus 3.
Right.
You're not winning.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is it's like, it's not that this one unit is so powerful. It's during that roll down event at level 8 that if you just happen to hit,
Right.
you have more chances to hit more things with these characters
it's the
being
same
introduced.
as hitting an augment, really, randomly.
Kind of. But here's the more insidious, nasty thing. Unlimited removers that we have now.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, we get so many.
So it's basically unlimited. I have never run out the set ever.
I've run out when I used 4 recently.
I would say consider a novice player.
A novice player
doesn't
is
run out
wonderful,
anywhere.
and it's wonderful to have for a new player.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I swear it needs to be a whole different game mode. It needs to be one with them and one without them.
Because there are people who are used to having, like, buying
Why don't they
specific...
just be taken out of ranked then?
Well, I'm just...
Honestly.
Yeah, they probably should. And so now it's the point where you do hit your Victor or your Warwick or your Mel.
remove
and guess
it.
what? You just remove it from that 2-star 3 cost.
Yep.
And you just put it on there. And you're like, sweet, I can play an AD and an AP unit. I can re-roll if I want to a 2-star 3 cost, a 3-star 2 cost, or a 3-star 3 cost. And then if I hit either of those, because a 3-star 3 cost is the equivalent to a 2-star 4 cost.
Yep.
What would you think about
And so
if-
I think that's what makes them so dangerous. It's not only do you hit them, you can have BIS.
Yeah.
Because you can just play units that use the same items as Victor or Warwick or Mel.
ahead
you
of
hit
time.
them, boop, no problem.
And then
Right.
Yeah.
That, to me, takes
That's
a
pretty strong.
lot of
Yeah.
skill expression out of the game.
Yeah.
How would you guys feel if removers were only available in component anvils? Like it was always a choice, but that was the only way to get it.
That'd be pretty interesting.
That would be interesting.
I'm fine with one free one a game at like the 4-7.
Okay.
At 4-7.
Yeah, like
the
halfway
last
point,
crux.
yeah.
I'm fine with one. But the fact that you get 5.
It
you get
feels so
5.
easy to get what I want.
Yes.
Like I'm used to
You're
being.
not making the same choices anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not
I
like
mean,
having to put it on a
allow
unit.
you to like flow with what you're receiving though from the board.
Yeah, it allows you to flow.
Yeah, but now you're playing AP and AD lines every game,
Yeah.
which means you can just, I want to play towards this unit, and when I hit them, I have best in slot, best,
Yep. Right.
and it's not healthy. I used to think the last set, one of the silver augments was the golden remover. And I laughed. I'm like, this is the most OP silver augment in the game.
It absolutely
I probably
was.
told you that.
Yep.
In my
I felt the
opinion,
same way. I
it's
used it whenever
this
it came up.
This is a gold augment. This is so broken. I'm like, I just slam everything.
Yeah.
I'm so strong.
Yeah, because it just speeds up your entire.
Well, your whole board,
strength.
your whole board early. You just throw an item on every character.
And the
It didn't even
motivation for
matter.
slamming items is you save health immediately. Like every item that's sitting on your bench is health that you're losing,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And like maybe you
So you're
lose
never
your lose
greeting
streak or
out.
whatever.
Yeah. I honestly think having this many removers is like it really dumbs down the game.
Yeah.
I thought it really dumbs down.
Even
the
half
game.
as many as a
And
patch
so-
I'd go for before like doing anything drastic. But like if I end the game with 4 removers because I didn't need any of them and I'm playing like I
ending with
used
2
to.
or 3 every game.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel
Give me
good.
2 guaranteed, maybe.
I'm
But
fine
like
with
even
1.
yeah.
That's why I feel like if you just made an extra slot in the component anvil, and if you
That is an
wanted
interesting choice.
That
it,
is
you
an
can
interesting
just take
choice.
it.
That's an interesting choice.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I say bring back that augment of the golden remover. I love that augment. I thought it was great. That was That was like its own little hyper roll.
But you
type
had to
thing.
choose that as opposed to a different
Yes,
augment, as
right.
opposed to just
Right.
getting it anyway.
Right.
Which is why I feel like it'd be fair if you're giving up a component to move component.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
think that is a good
anyways,
idea.
because
We
I
should
thought
tell more
should
dogs
tweet
that you.
more, yeah.
You are interested in getting into game development.
Yeah,
Like-
actually, I have started now.
Yeah.
one of
Yeah, I
the
started my game.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
one of the things Riot did was add the lesser and major Nikos, the champion duplicators.
Yes.
It used to only just be you could copy any unit.
Yeah.
And then they made it 3 or less, and then the full
Yeah.
the orange one. I thought that was a fantastic change.
Yeah.
So maybe
It is
they'll
good.
do something like that where it's like they'll have lesser champion removers, or major champion removers where you can't pull it off your 2-star units.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to pull it off your 3 and up, which that to me would be
That would be
now
a good
you have
idea,
to commit to these lower.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
that to me is more.
You commit to them or you sell them, and then it's like,
intentional
yeah,
choice.
that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
That can be good.
So, anyways,
There are a lot of opportunities.
yeah.
You know another game that has.
But this is a great set, by the way.
yeah.
Sorry,
it is.
last thing.
It
It's
is
a great set.
I have gone several sets, not falling out of. Well, yeah, more or less falling out of love with it. Like for a couple of sets, I was really, really into TFT more than any other game. I climbed a ton. Spent a lot of hours in it, and then I had a few sets where I was just like, I got into it. I played a few at the beginning, and I haven't really kept up with it. But this set, I've put some time in. I'm still only gold, so I'm not like crazy yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm gold 2 right now, but I'm still putting in at least like 4 or 5 games a week, which is nowhere near my peak where it was like daily, like 3, 4, 5 games.
Yeah.
But in my minimum, it was like 5 games a set. And so I will say this set does
It's a
feel
great
good.
set.
Yeah,
It's a great set.
it's really good.
Even with these 6 cost units, I still think it's a great
Yeah,
set.
yeah, it absolutely
It's
is.
definitely one of the better ones. So
Yeah. Speaking of better in general, like better games, better quality of gaming experience, Path of Exile 2
Path of Exile 2. Here
has
we are.
been exceptional. I have not been playing TFT more than I've been playing Path of Exile 2.
Right, same.
It is giving me the kind of vibes that I got when I first played Guild Wars. That was my first MMO. Before WoW, I knew WoW existed, but I didn't want to pay the subscription fee. I played Guild Wars, played a Necromancer, absolutely loved it, and I'm getting all of those vibes from like falling into a story, like getting really into the instances, loving specking out my character and having my limited skills. I'm getting all of that from Path of Exile 2. I am playing a witch, but I am playing a minion-based build. Love the skill tree, love the bosses in this game, and let's see, my favorite so far probably Zalmarath the Colossus. You know, there's the giant one. There's this point where it's the buggiest part of the game too. It's still early access technically, and there's this one stage where you go into this round platform, and the whole I guess not map. Would you call it a map, or the whole area, the whole section? What would you call any given point?
I guess each of them are their own maps.
Yeah. So the whole map you see, like there are risen platforms, and then off the side,
You're underground.
Yes, you're underground. It's in a grotto, and you can see at each of your platforms like below where the platforms are. And so you have this sense of depth. There's the platforms, and then there's the ground. And then you get to this raised circular platform, and the boss that comes out is a massive figure who's actually standing on the floor below the whole thing. Like there are a lot of maps in this that are like shown as raised platforms or raised walkways and temples and castles above something, but this is the first boss that really gives you a sense of how massive the actual scale of the area you're in is.
And you don't get that often too, because it's the isometric view.
Yes,
You know
yes,
what I mean?
exactly,
So,
exactly.
Like they did a really well job.
Absolutely,
And
they did.
I would just say the vibe and the aesthetic of that boss, but
It
the
was so
fight
cool.
itself too is just so fun.
Dude, it's really good. The knife one shots you. Like he's got this massive knife. It'll one shot you if he brings it down. He sweeps you. He starts by sweeping you into the area and then knifing it. You have to dodge roll to escape it. He moves on to like push you off. And he's got like a fire ability where he will like charge the area with the flames that you have to avoid. There's an ability where he throws his knife down, and then he emits like this like primal howl, and the only way you don't take incredible amounts of damage, and like I usually die when I got it, is if you're standing behind his knife. So he's got like a really cool moveset that you have to be really responsive to at the same time that he's just like gigantic. He gives you a real sense of scale within this game, and that is not some. I didn't play a lot of Path of Exile 1, and when Wake Up told me to get this game, when I was just thinking, well, why did I didn't get Path? I played Path of Exile 1, and I didn't really like it. Like, why would I do it? And then you told me to play, and you were the one who told me to get into Dawn to Dawn, so I owed you one. And so, well, Thursdays are still my favorite day of the week for like 10 weeks in a row. Yeah, 11 actually. We got Dawn to Dawn comes out on Thursdays. But in any case, so I got Path of Exile 2, and I'm so glad I did. It's a really, really good game. Really well played.
So, is it a brand new engine?
Don't know, actually.
Yeah.
I would
Does
assume
it
is.
feel like it is?
Yeah.
Does it feel like there are like new mechanics and?
Well, dodge rolling is new.
Yeah, they make a big
Character
dodge roll.
movement is slower. It
okay.
seems like
Like, does the environment world look more high tech?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It is free to play, right?
No.
Not right now.
Oh, PoE costs money. I thought the first one.
Early
Was,
access
first one was free.
costs you a supporter pack, I think.
Yep,
is
$30,
what it is.
$29.99.
So that's
okay.
what it is. To get
Okay.
into early access, you have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
buy a supporter
Yes.
pack. But when the game launches, it should be free to play, from what I understand.
yeah, because I thought the first one. I don't remember paying for the first one or
Right.
anything.
Right, no, I didn't. That's
Only
why I
guy-
played it.
Yeah, I only started
Yeah.
it because Carissa was going to start it. I'm like, oh, I'll play this
Yeah.
with you for a little bit, but
Sure.
I just really could not.
Their
get into it.
their revenue model has always been, you're going to pay for cosmetics and you're going to pay for quality of life improvements. Unfortunately, like self-organizing inventory.
Oh, okay.
And they
Stuff
gave
like
you
that.
some in-game currency for that, and so I've seen how this works. And it's like your certain orbs that'll upgrade your items and your runes. Like you have ways to organize your stash, and it does make things helpful. But with the
But it
supporter pack,
does
I got
allow
enough.
you to
I mean, if you're gonna
store more.
if you're
too.
gonna
Yes, it
grind
does.
out 1,000 hours in a game like this, just pay the damn $30.
Just pay.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
Yeah.
for
And that's
sure.
the thing is, you
I'm
can
surprised
get-
that they don't have the balls to just say it is going to be $30.
Well, they know that they're
Well-
gonna get more out of all the cosmetics.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but
is
that's why I
you're-
like people-
like
If
if
I
you
pay
for-
$30 for a polished game, I'm gonna put 1,000 hours into.
Yeah.
I'm still fine buying cosmetics.
Well, the thing is like
It's not $70.
Yeah, you are. You are.
cosmetics.
It's not $70.
Cosmetics aside, just the quality of life improvements when it comes to your inventory management.
Yeah.
I think maxes out at like $50.
Oh, okay.
And that's if you buy it in the bundle. So if you buy it
Yeah.
individually, it costs a little more. So it's just like, and there are certain things that matter to you more, like as you progress the game.
Yeah.
So the way they structure it is essentially you could be like, oh, I'm going to spend $10 now because these are the.
If I just
These
want
are the
everything
stashes that
right
I want
away,
right now.
what am I gonna pay? Like $90?
Oh, less
It
than
was
that.
like 60,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Like I think
I
the
was like,
super package was
60 would
50,
get you
60.
all the quality of life updates and a cosmetic probably.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, speaking of cosmetics, Riot is on a tear right now with gacha skins.
Yeah.
Terror.
heard.
What do you mean by that?
Well, okay, tear. Okay, so we remember we reported. We talked about the faker skin, the $500 faker skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they released a kind of like a chroma on Dark Cosmic Gen that was a $200 skin.
Oh my god.
And then they released a chroma,
And chromas are just different colors.
Recolor.
right?
kinda, yeah. Now the Dark Cosmic Gen is 90% the base skin, which is already a $20 skin. But the way they're doing it is it's like a reroll system. It's like
yeah,
it's like
it's a
gambling.
gacha.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a gacha
gotcha.
system,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now they have the new Jinx skin. It's Arcane Jinx.
Yeah.
Where she's powder.
That's just in TFT, I thought, though.
No,
It
TFT's
advertises it
but
in
now,
the- yeah.
now there's a League of Legends one where you can buy a very special skin, and it looks great. But yeah, it's they're like, we promise you won't spend more than $250 on the skin.
Max 250.
Yep. They didn't even. You know how she had the hoodie at the one scene at the end of Arcane?
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't even have that on her until people were bitching about it, and then they put it in on their $250 skin.
I'm trying to
insane.
recoup the $200 million it took to make
And then
the series.
the only kind of neat thing about it which
you
is
have
like
a chance
which is
for like $4.
no to me these skins are just nowhere near $200 because League's engine cannot even support a $200 skin, right? In my opinion. So to me, you need something novel about it, something that's super unique. Like, and not only does it have to be unique, it has to be good. So like when Faker's Ari skin kills a tower, he signs the tower's
That's
base,
cool. Yeah.
which is okay. That's unique. Like no one else
Yeah.
has anything like that.
Sure.
Okay, that's really cool. Jinx's skin, when she defeats her inhibitor, the camera zooms out and her rocket from Arcane comes down and blows the Nexus up.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
That is.
All right, that's pretty cool. That's a
is.
finisher.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
finisher, right?
yeah.
No other character has that. Is it a $200
Which
thing?
means soon there will be several other
absolutely
characters with $200 finisher skins.
I mean, there's going to be several $200
Yeah.
skins because these whales,
insane.
they all want to be special.
Right.
Here's the kicker. Since the skin is released, I have seen like 10 of them.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not even rare.
Yeah.
Oh, Yasuo.
Well, it's
Yasuo
rare.
has another $200
It's just
like
you play
gacha
up
skin.
against against the upper echelon players.
Oh, I guess because I'm playing with people's accounts that are
Yes.
High level.
You'll never
High
see that
level.
in my rank.
Oh,
Guaranteed.
Well, not a rank. Even just it's just the fact that there's so many out there.
Because you're
buying
playing against all the people that
Yeah.
want it.
I guess
And the people
it's
that
just crazy. You know what's
will
crazy?
justify that time. That's the
is-
thing. Is somebody that has 10,000 hours into League of Legends. That 250
yes.
is less.
Dude, imagine 10,000
even-
hours and getting rid of your rig. You know, it's just it's real wackadoo.
What's crazy is Elementalist Lux is the most complex skin in the game by far. Nothing's even close to how crazy that skin is. $35.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the biggest mistake Riot ever made because that skin, if it were made now, would be $1,000. That skin is so insane. They said if they added one more particle effect, it crashes the game.
That's
the RAM,
insane.
it uses too much RAM
I love
Wow.
that.
for the engine. Yep.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah. I think there's something about like I might be completely talking out of my ass, but I'm pretty sure I read on Reddit that the game actually will not let in a normal draft 2 Elementalist Lux players play on Summoner's Rift at the same time. It'll default the skin on one of them by random because it'll just break the game.
Can you play a Lux on both sides?
Yeah, if you play like a quick draft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
you
okay.
can run into like the same characters. But if they both select Elementalist Lux, I'm pretty sure it defaults one of them to base skin. Because literally the game cannot handle it. That skin is crazy. It has 9 forms.
Sheesh.
That's hella.
9
yeah.
forms and 8 audio.
And
like
it's
full
based
clones.
off of like what she upgrades or
Yeah,
something?
well, she can pick to go down different different elements as the game progresses. And
Just for cosmetic wise.
yeah, but I mean it's gorgeous. Like if you've never seen the skin, it's
I'll
you
look it up
probably have
later.
seen it, and you just thought you were playing against Fire Lux or Water Lux,
Yeah.
which because there are skins that are like that. But Elementalist Lux, she can just choose between them as she levels up. It's pretty wild. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now, would you think that meeting a character like Elementalist Lux at the end of a game with a whole bunch of really cool cosmetics? Yeah, I mean, it might be a little stressed. Would you, like, if you had an experience where somebody that was that different from the rest of the game and stood out, like, thematically, but also, like, demanded a lot of skill expression,
Okay.
would you think that there was something special to a kind of moment like that? Where you've been building up
It's a boss
over the
fight,
course.
David.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is
trying to transition to boss fights. I didn't do the best job. So I want to talk about boss fights. Boss fights are ubiquitous in gaming. Most games have bosses. If there's any action in a game, if there's any fighting, there's a boss, right? And
Well, it was, I mean, one of the first games ever was Donkey Kong, right? And that was fighting the boss, right? To save the
Donkey Kong,
princess.
yep. Donkey
So
Kong was the boss.
archetype was just like from the beginning.
Was set
of
from the
game.
beginning. Yeah. I mean, like, PvP games don't have bosses.
Well, they do,
in
but
a
they are
sen-
in the form of human.
Yeah,
players.
and then so I do want to
down.
I do want to get into edge cases like that, like things that are like boss like, but do we call them bosses? Right. And so a little bit I want to both here analyze what it takes to be a boss
Okay.
at all, but also what it takes to be a good boss.
Yeah,
I do have opinions on the latter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a good boss fight, even though I don't really like them.
Which we just heard before, but is new to these people.
Yeah.
Vindi
Well,
doesn't
I'll
like
get into it.
bosses.
I'll get
Period.
into it.
Like the whole
I'll
concept.
I'll get into it. But if I were to like it, I like bosses that require you to fight them with something new that you learned
Yes.
in these
Yes.
in the trials leading up to them.
And like one of the characteristic.
So one of them requires stealth, one of them requires like verticality, one of them requires brute force.
I think paradigmatic
speed.
example of that Legend of Zelda series. When I was getting into Legend of Zelda, you get a new item.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, the boss you're facing uses that item.
Yeah.
You are required to use that.
Yeah.
Maybe you still use it later in the game on that boss, but you know whenever you get an item, it is going to the boss that round is going to test how well you are able to use that item with the rest of your abilities to get in. And that is
Yeah.
exactly true. A boss should
Yeah.
challenge not just your general skill, but the specific mechanics that you've learned at
Yeah, I
that
want
stage.
them to like build upon each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really interesting. But briefly, yeah, my whole thing against boss fights is that typically they're just so asymmetrical. You just learn what the boss is programmed to do, and then it's all based on your ability to attack the boss. And you struggle at it enough, or you find some sort of cheese, and you just win.
And so, like, what I am
don't find that
reacting
very
to,
compelling.
so like when I hear you put it like that, it's kind of like I'm imagining if somebody told me, well, to become a doctor, you just go to med school. Like, all you do is you go to med school and you spend enough time reading the books and doing the tests, and then you get there. Like you put enough time and you do the
Yeah,
thing.
med school was only working on a dummy.
What? Wait.
Yeah, because the dummy's going to do exactly what the instructor programmed it to do. It's going to, you're checking for a liver biopsy, and then the
No, you
dummy
can
was
still
programmed to
fail
have
med
a heart
school.
attack, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a heart attack on this dummy. What are you going to do? Oh, well, I got to do the training and thing, and the instructor goes, haha, all right, sweet. That was a pop quiz. That was a test, which is what a boss fight is. It's a test to see if you can pass this thing before you move on to the next stage, right? Whereas in real life, you don't know what's going to happen to the victim. No one's there pulling the string. It's random.
Well, no, you're supposed to be prepared for everything. And
right.
so
but
that
what I'm
prepares you
saying
for everything.
is there's no thing that you can prep for that's actually going to happen. You're prepared for everything, but you can't be prepared for everything, and that's what makes it super interesting.
So a boss, like, I don't get like the whole perspective of just like it's only something you have to try and bang your head against a lot in order to feel a feeling of accomplishment. I don't know if it's just that you don't get a feeling of accomplishment
don't.
after you don't.
I just don't.
Or do you just like not play those games because you don't like them anyway and you don't get them, or like if you play?
I just don't find it a lot of fun playing against computers because I know I can see it worked out in my head. Okay, let me give you an example. I'm playing Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
And the jankiness of the game sometimes when I go to jump, Drake will just he'll just fall and die. And it's like, look, I know what I'm trying to do. All right? I hate that the game is punishing me because it requires like this insane input on this one spot because it's jank. And it's like, come on, man, I don't even want to play this anymore. I know I need to hit the button to get across. Right. I don't want to like sit there and be so precise over a story-paced game. The only reason I'm dying is because the engine is like having this thing happen.
So like I get in the specific, you can have those moments where, okay, this is a janky input, and so I feel cheated out of like not being able to progress because the game isn't performing as well as it normally does on regular mechanics. But I don't see how I can just extend that to, oh, well, I see a boss and I know in principle how I would beat it. Like, I can think about the moves I would put in if I were good at the game. Like, I feel like I could do the same thing with a PvP game. Like, if I'm watching esports, right, and I am seeing Aspas hit all of his op shots, right, I could think, oh, yeah, if I were playing, I would just like peak really fast, right? And so in principle, I totally get how it would beat him in a game, right? And I would just click heads. And so because I can just click heads, I know in principle how to defeat that. Like, isn't part of the game, whether it's PvP or PvP, the challenge of actually having to follow through the yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't really think of it like that. I don't think of it like that at all.
Yeah, I think it comes down to
I really don't. I really don't at all. There's no. That's not interesting to me whatsoever. It just isn't. It's not at all. It's like, okay, when I'm facing Tartarus in the end of Halo 3, all right, and basically you get too close, you get grab hammered, you just die, right? It's like, okay, well, I know that I have to like perfectly kite him and run around and shoot him and then find the ammo here and do all this. Like, I know what I have to do. And it's like every time I beat him, you can make the difficulty harder, right? It's like, oh, we go from easy, normal, heroic, legendary, lasso run, right? You just keep going harder and harder. I know exactly, though, what I have to do to beat Totters. I have to kite him in a circle because he's going to charge me with these pre-programmed basic attacks, and I can find ways of making it harder, but I know that given enough time, I will beat Tartarus. In your example, I don't know if given enough time, if I can beat another pro player who's just better than me and practices more than me, because they are another human that is always going to change it up. If I find a way to out-op somebody, I'm pretty sure that if they were the best in the world at one point, they're going to find a way to make it where my strategy no longer works anymore. And a computer, as it stands right now, doesn't really do that. Mm-hmm. Plus, I don't care if I beat a computer.
Aren't there better and more engaging? Like, isn't the whole point of having like better and worse bosses that there are some bosses that are not very exciting to play against, and there are others that are more demanding, that have more interesting movesets, who are more challenging, that are harder to just like suddenly understand and see the basics of?
Yeah, there are those on the left that are like lame, and those on the right which are really amazing. But they're all down here to me still. So it's like
versus competing against a player.
Yeah,
a person.
Competing against another human being is 100 times better than the best boss.
Yeah. Well, and
even at a low rank.
It's all relative to you.
Yeah, well, like
That's just my personal opinion. I'm not coming out here saying that like
all bosses are bad.
Well, I'm not saying that you're bad if you enjoy facing a boss. I just know that that's actually what turns me off of playing single-player games. Because to me, all computers are a boss. They're all bosses. You know what I'm saying?
It's all a puzzle, right?
Yeah, it's all a puzzle. I'm just not into puzzles.
Right.
I'm way more into pattern recognition than I am like of other people. Of other people. I'm going to figure them out and dominate them at what they're trying to do in their game.
Over the course of like a very brief amount of time. I mean, like, I get that's cool.
Then maybe they'll switch something up, and now I got to face them. Right. They're going to try to do something else. And I constantly
to adapt to someone adapting to you.
I would like an AI boss that could do that.
Right.
I would be fine with that. That would
programming
actually be
that could adapt to your play style.
Yeah.
Right.
If I could face like AI in League of Legends, I would probably do that forever.
Yeah.
Over people, because it'd be more consistent. And
wait, you'd rather face AI over people forever?
Yeah. Actual AI, not pre-programmed computers. Yeah, because then every time I beat a level, there is no boss in this example, right? Because every time I beat it, I'll just increase the elo of the bot 10 more, 10 more,
isn't that,
10 more, 10 more, 10 more.
Isn't that just a boss by another name?
Yeah, it would be.
I'm saying that, but I'm saying that's my parameter. Right now, my issues with bosses is that you can figure them out.
There's a limited amount of patterns.
Yes, with AI, you can make it infinitely difficult where a human will never be able to surpass it. That is interesting to me.
Even though you would never be able to accomplish it.
Yeah, probably not in that
by definition, no one would be able to.
Right, and then once I reach my point, then I'd just go start playing against people again. But I would find that really fucking fun. I find that hilarious.
It'd be a cool way to train.
I mean, they did it in Dota. They made AI that no professional players could beat, not the best team in the world. Yeah. And they were doing strategies that no one even thought of before. We were like, wait, what's going on? And by like 6 minutes in the game, they said you have a 98.5% chance of losing. At 6 minutes in the game, and by 14 minutes in the game, it's impossible.
And my guess is that's not a game mode that still exists, right?
What? No, because they used a very high end like neural engine, and I'm sure it was very difficult.
So like being presented with challenges and having to overcome them, you just see like any challenge that has patterns that in principle you would be able to succeed.
Yeah, if I could see how I could beat it.
Not even like
go through the motions of doing it.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
So like going through the motions is testing other things than just your ability to see it.
Right.
Like you can see how
your timing.
Yeah, your timing, but like
motor skills,
right?
To be able to pull it off.
Yeah, but doing the pulling off isn't just.
That's not as interesting to me as not knowing what's coming. Like when I queue up for a game of League of Legends, I have no idea the cluster.
You like fighting the chaos.
Yeah. I have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I have no idea who I'm laning against. Even if I know the matchup,
Sure.
I have no idea
There's
how the lane's about
personality
to
in
go.
every
In
player.
every PvP, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but some players are cocky and they will play a lane so differently. I was just teaching Max the Renekton versus Warwick matchup.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to him, I'm saying, at your level, this goes one way, but at my level, it goes another. And it's the same matchup, right?
guess.
And
I just
find that really interesting. Where if it were 2 AI, it'd always go the same way.
Right.
So,
Like, I get all of the... Like, I play a lot of PvP games. Yeah. And I get all of the reasons why those are engaging.
I think you're just having a tough time accepting this. But again...
Well, no, I just feel completely deflated.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't feel deflated that you like bosses. I don't think... I'm just saying, like, it's not... This is such a just personal thing that I've just noticed. Like, I don't like RPGs. Yeah. You know? Maybe I like action RPGs a little bit. Yeah. But I definitely don't like anything like WoW or PoE.
Yeah, but...
That is pure CPU fighting. You just learning... Looking up a guide online, what's the best thing to go here?
I mean, that's not the way I play them.
I know, and you have a lot more fun if you don't.
Right.
But you know what really sucks too is it's like, oh, well, you get super late game and you didn't take the right stuff, and now you kind of screwed.
That was the case with the
PoE
first
1, yeah.
Path of Exile.
But
Hopefully, Path of Exile 2
doesn't have
right, and that's also like in
pigeonholing.
a lot of ways an issue with the game design, not
But some people really like that. Some people really like that. And
well, they just buffed a bunch of skills though in PoE 2, because it sounds.
Oh, by the way, did they kill one? Now that they're launching 2, like what's the plan?
Not at all.
They're gonna let them both run side by side.
They're different. They're different beasts altogether.
Oh, okay.
There is actually tons of PoE diehards that can't stand the game because it's so different.
Oh, sure. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, the movement's different, skill expression is different.
Let me give you an example, okay? Because everything I just said, also I want to put in the nice wrapper of a solo like player experience, okay? That PvE mode for Overwatch with like friends, I would probably do that a ton. I played the Call of Duty.
Oh, you were interested in Destiny.
Yeah,
is that because you're interested in what your teammates do and they can fail?
Well, and now, honestly, it's just such a social thing. It's like the primary thing I'm doing now.
So you wouldn't do it because of the game. You'd just do it because other people wanted to play.
I'm sure I would have fun during the game, but it's not my sole focus anymore, and so it makes it more fun. Yeah. But like, what was that Modern Warfare 3 where you're fending off waves after waves?
Spec Ops.
The Spec Ops, yeah. Playing that with my dad, some of the most fun I ever had in video games. And that was pure boss fights. You're just wave after wave. Like, I love wave defense type ideas. Like, those are fun too. But even then, that gets old after a while. Like, like it's no longer like this fun thing. And like, even you, I'm sure you don't fight the same boss.
Right, I don't fight the same boss. Bosses constantly change, so it's not like I face the same thing.
Once the challenge is completed, I'm not looking to do it again.
Right, I mean, like some really good ones overturned.
That I've done it.
Yeah, and then I want to do it.
There's some of those ways.
But I like puzzles personally.
Yeah, I love puzzles. I don't even see bosses as just puzzles. Like,
no problem with any of that. I'm not attacking the thing. It just does not move me. It doesn't move me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In the same way that first-person shooters really don't move me that much.
Mean, we all want to spend our time on things we enjoy.
Yeah.
So you're just not going to choose to spend your time on it.
Yeah. So
personally, I love boss fights. I've been fighting digital bosses my entire life. Starting with the very first Zelda. Actually.
Bosses are like
Kirby,
a constitutive part of video games. Right?
To this day, I still remember the challenge of fighting Meta Knight in the very first Kirby on the NES. What an epic fight. You get to pick up the sword, and you get to fight Meta Knight on his own turf as a sword fight, and you're Kirby, and he's faster than you, but you have to use your intelligence and your pattern recognition to be able to defeat someone so powerful as Meta Knight. Like, I'll never forget that. That felt so good as a kid. And it's just like, I like those moments of like overcoming the
awesome.
challenge, you know.
And like a good one is like bound up with the story, right? Like Meta Knight isn't a random character that comes out of nowhere. It's a character
he
you've
is
like
actually
seen.
in there. Yeah, like
you don't like see anything beforehand. Like you don't see.
Him, you see him very vaguely, so he's like a shadow.
There's foreshadowing.
Yeah, there's
for him.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That's
You know, there's a figure who like fight. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So when you actually do get to fight him, yeah, I guess you're right. Like there's
You've seen him coming.
what you might call it, elevation to that.
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
Or you could just have the best fight of all time, Master Chief and Spartan Locke. Oh wait, it was just a cinematic.
A third-person action Halo game would actually be really sick with like full like Spartan combat.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Just play Chivalry and make a mod for it or something. Cool beans.
That's essentially what Space Marine is, though, right? It's like Gears of War and
see,
Halo.
and see another caveat too, because Space Marine is just that. Like fighting the Lictor, that was a boss fight, a mini boss fight, but still a boss fight. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But because I've read all the lore, it was cool to be like, so this is what it like feels like when I'm reading it, like the way the Lictor moves and all that type of stuff. But it wasn't necessarily like I wouldn't have thought anything about it if I'd never done Space Marine lore. So the lore does tie it in, definitely. Yeah. But typically games on themselves do not immerse me enough where I would care then, you know?
Sure.
So, sorry. I'm just kind of lame, I guess.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Maybe you should sell your rig. I think that's the lesson here.
Maybe he'll start liking bosses if he only has a console. I mean,
I don't know.
You can get into like painting.
My majority of my console or my video gaming is done on console.
Yeah.
And what do console players had to look? I mean, those were the only challenges that I had growing up was boss fights, right? Because there just wasn't any PvP unless it was local, and I had my brother to play locally with me once in a while, my friends, right? But like we didn't play video games a lot. And my brother was 3 years younger than me. There was no challenge to it ever until he finally like was a teenager with me.
You get good?
I mean, essentially, right? And so like bosses were my only video game challenge for majority of my youth. So that's definitely why I still like very much appreciate the boss fight, I think, is because like I just grew up doing it. All the time.
I mean, for me, it's like inseparable from what a video game is like
the solo video game.
Yeah, the solo video game experience, or even like cooperative PvE ones.
Too. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, like they're figures, and you know, like we've talked about how you can use metaphorically like a raid boss in a game is like the really good player on the other team, right?
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's it. That was episode 7.
Sombering moment here on Patchnote.
Yeah.
I let David down again for another episode.
Oh, wow.
It's all right. I'll get used to it. All right.
Everybody.
Go fight a boss or something.
Or fight the boss in your life. Take control.
Yeah.
Take control.
Peace.